This webinar is focused on Tour de Force BI, and Tour de Force BI is a brand new offering from Tour de Force CRM, and we believe it's, quite frankly, it's a new breed of business intelligence software specifically for the distribution and small to mid-sized manufacturing market that we focus in. So the big question is, what is Tour de Force BI? And first of all, BI stands for business intelligence, which I'm sure that all of you that are on the call are familiar with that. Tour de Force BI is a streamlined version of our core enterprise CRM product that we have been building for years. But it primarily focuses on the business intelligence features. Now, not only does Tour de Force provide the BI features that have become so popular within our product, that are provided for actually nearly about 40 ERP systems today. But we've included a lot of very base functionality to also provide not just BI, but some other features. So our contact management and account management is included as a core part of the Tour de Force BI solution. So if you're using an ERP and you want to begin a very small subset of building a foundation for a future CRM rollout, Tour de Force BI is a great solution for that. You can begin synchronizing your accounts and contacts between your local Outlook users, between your ERP system. You can begin the process of profiling those contacts and those accounts so that you can generate marketing campaigns. Tour de Force also does incorporate our email management. I believe, and we believe as an organization, that email management is a critical source of business intelligence today, considering that so many commitments and so much information is shared between users within your organization and users at your customers and prospects via email. So the email logging features that captures all of the inbound and outbound email that is transmitted with your customer is also a part of our BI solution. Now, as a part of the BI, we have a couple of new things that are being introduced in our next release, which is scheduled to be out before the end of August. And I'm going to give you a little glimpse of that today, some of it at a very high level, but some of it in a very deep detail level. So when we talk about what is Tour de Force BI and what business intelligence is provided, you have very comprehensive customer-based business intelligence. So the ability to look at a bill to, a ship to, a master account, roll information up, and look at over 1,000 analytical business intelligence data points that focus on unit sales, actual sales dollars, gross profit, margins, growth, variances, rolling 12s, prior year rolling 12s, a whole wide range of business intelligence that is a part of the customer BI. We also provide you the ability to do inventory-based BI. So being able to look at inventory values by product, by item, by vendor, by warehouse. So a wide range of inventory-based BI. What's new in Tour de Force in this next version is what we call our vendor BI. And vendor BI is a subset of a new feature called vendor relationship management. So if you're in the manufacturing sector, vendor relationship management, not necessarily a critical component. But if you're a wholesale distributor, it is critically important to be able to manage those vendor relationships just like you manage a customer. Be able to look at what are the margin trends. Are you having sliding margins within this vendor, everything that you sell, or are you increasing your margins? Being able to look at the inventory that you are stocking related to a vendor. So there's a lot of business intelligence it's important to track about a vendor. But as a part of that, you also have those core functions that as you begin to roll out the full CRM features of Tour de Force, you can capture all the email communication with your vendor. You can link your vendors to different opportunities. So vendor relationship management is a new feature in the enterprise CRM product of Tour de Force. But the vendor BI is incorporated in the core Tour de Force BI. We're also introducing what we call opportunity BI. A lot of distributors, wholesale distributors, when they work on a sales opportunity, ultimately close that opportunity and it becomes a project. So you want to be able to track information and track all the orders, all the invoicing, anything related to what started off as a sales opportunity, you start to close business against that. You want to track your actual business that you generate against that opportunity. So this is a brand new feature. It's really powerful for those people who are dealing in public bid jobs or construction jobs, or dealing with OEMs where they have a lot of different products, a lot of different orders that may ultimately tie back to that original sales opportunity. The other piece that's included is alerts and notifications. Alerts and notifications is a very popular feature in our core enterprise CRM that allows you to build reports and distribute those reports, or just email users on any interval that you'd like on what's happening. So if you take a salesperson, maybe a salesperson gets an alert sent to them every day that gives them a list of any new accounts that got added to their territory, any new contacts, all the orders that were placed in their territory, any orders that are past their required date, a detail of every line item that got invoiced. You can get as granular as you would like in the alerts and notifications in Tour de Force, and that is a piece of the business intelligence. We also incorporate our Build Your Own Report module. So the Tour de Force BYOR, as it's called, stands for Build Your Own Report. It gives you the ability to create very comprehensive dashboards, KPI dashboards, KPI being key performance indicators. So you can create KPI dashboards by rep, by account, by branch for the entire company. Those KPI dashboard reports can incorporate order, AR, inventory, warehouse. All of those can be combined into the Tour de Force Build Your Own Reports. And then some of the marketing functions that Tour de Force BI includes are our gap analysis, the ability to quickly and easily identify gaps that exist within a customer. So is this customer buying one product but not buying another? Being able to generate marketing campaigns based off of what customers are buying, and then being able to compare what they are buying to what they should be buying. Once you've identified those gaps, you can take those accounts, generate the contact lists from those accounts, and push them directly into our marketing tools, which would be the Tour de Force mailer, to be able to process that email or direct mail campaign. We also include in Tour de Force BI all of our marketing tools. So you have the ability to use what we call our draft editor, which is a way for you to generate both personal and global company-wide draft email communications. Those draft email communications can be plain text emails, they can be HTML emails, they can be posted by your marketing department and then readily available to people as they communicate. Tour de Force Mobile is also a piece of the Tour de Force BI. So if you want to deliver all of this business intelligence through our mobile interface, you would be able to do that through the Tour de Force web client through Tour de Force Mobile. And then the sales planning and goal setting. Again, all of these items that you see that are in asterisk with red, I guarantee you will not find in any other business intelligence tool that is out there focused on the distribution industry. Tour de Force has long prided ourselves on our extensive sales planning and goal setting capabilities. We often refer to our sales planning as a product within a product. It is a very full-featured way for an organization to plan at an account record level, by product group within an account, by product or vendor within a territory, roll the territory up to a branch, roll the branch up to your corporate. So the sales planning components of Tour de Force are very powerful. And again, all of these items that I've identified in red, you're not going to find in traditional BI tools. So a lot of people, what we have introduced Tour de Force BI, one of the benefits that we have by being by providing an enterprise CRM product is that we're able to offer our BI subset of features at a very affordable price. So we're introducing Tour de Force BI as a subscription-only model. So it's nothing that you have to buy. If you are running on a business system where you already have Microsoft SQL Server running, your ability to get up and running on the Tour de Force BI features is very, very cost effective. You basically have a $25 per user per month subscription fee, and then you have a $5,000 implementation. That $5,000 implementation is going to include basically reconciling, setting up your accounts and contacts, so teaching you on how to configure and design your screens, setting up the email logging process, and then setting up and configuring the Tour de Force Business System Integration connector. That connector is what takes our core BI features, connects into your ERP, massages the data, runs all the analytics, and then makes it available within the Tour de Force interface. It also incorporates synchronizing accounts and contacts from your ERP. So if you are running a system that has contact management, such as an Epicor Profit 21 product, you would have the ability to set up what we call our two-way contact sync so that you can synchronize contacts from your ERP into the Tour de Force database. It includes all the reconciliation of your BSI data, because when you look at your sales data in Tour de Force and you pull open an account, you need to make sure that that number matches what you see in any other report to the penny. And we'll do that through all of the account, the contacts, orders, quotes, invoice, inventory, and the vendor data. It also includes all the setup and configuration of our very flexible, what we call folder structure. Basically what you're doing within that piece of the project is setting up and configuring your data so that you can apply permissions and restrictions. The goal of Tour de Force BI is not that you have to provide access to everybody for everything. One of the downsides of a lot of BI tools is that if you have a license and if you have the ability as a user to log into that BI tool, it pretty much lets you see anything that's accessible. Not with Tour de Force BI. If I'm an individual sales rep, when I log into Tour de Force and when I connect to the business intelligence, I'm going to be restricted on just seeing what I've been given permissions to. So you have full ability to create that permission structure to allow a sales rep to see just their sales, a product manager just to see those products that are relevant to them, a branch manager to just see information related to their branch, and so on. And this is all of the same permission structure that you have available within our Enterprise CRM product. It also includes the setup and configuration of Tour de Force Mobile, as well as administrator training to train your people on how to configure and manage their screens so that you can take responsibility yourselves for the proper setup and configuration of your system. And then we provide a 2-hour web-based training for your users on using the basic BI features. If you're an organization that you want to do an on-site training, we can definitely offer on-site training, but the base Tour de Force BI implementation allows for web training. And then we do any project that we do project review meetings on a regular basis from the time the project starts until the time that you go live. There are some additional options that you can take advantage of while you're implementing the Tour de Force BI. Some of those would be setting up the build your own reports. We do offer a 2-day training course that's hosted in our corporate office in Findlay, Ohio, that you can send people in to go through the 2-day training course for the build your own reports. You can have a consultant come on site for a day or two to specifically focus on your reporting needs as well. But that is an option in the BI, what I'll call the Tour de Force BI bundle. Also, the setup of the two-way contact sync with your ERP system would also be billed outside of the standard package. One of the things Tour de Force offers with Profit 21, Epicor Eclipse, Infor SX Enterprise, Epicor Prelude, several systems that we have two-way synchronization, where if you want to set up two-way synchronization of contacts, orders, that type of stuff, that would be an extra charge. And then if you want to set up the new feature for the vendor BI, there is an additional day of consulting required, because you've got to go through all of that reconciliation at the job or at the opportunity as well as the vendor. And it typically takes about a day for each of those to get those fully reconciled. And then you can also contract for on-site training or consulting like what we have talked about. Now, one of the big advantages, as I've already covered, of Tour de Force BI is that when you invest in Tour de Force BI, You are not, if you decide that over time you want to implement the basic BI features, and then maybe 3 or 4 months from now you want to introduce some basic CRM functions, like maybe activity management, introducing appointments and tasks and opportunities, you can simply upgrade your server license. You won't have to rebuild any of your interface to the ERP. You won't have to redo your accounts and contacts. You've already got your permission structure set up. So it allows for you to slowly build your CRM in an enterprise-wide CRM solution where you can start off with the basic BI. You can introduce basic CRM functions, then you can go to standard functions, and then you can upgrade to the enterprise. None of these steps are going to require you to change products, to introduce a new user interface to your users. You're just going to be able to slowly introduce new features if you have the desire to do so, or you can remain on the business intelligence piece. But it does provide you that options, and that's what people have been asking us for. Over the last couple of years, our enterprise solution has gotten so robust and so many features that in a lot of cases it becomes overwhelming to people. And so Tour de Force BI, our Tour de Force Basic Edition and Standard Edition, this is an attempt for us to be able to allow people to take small steps in the implementation of a very robust CRM solution. We still do offer our traditional purchasing options, so you can purchase the software. So the Standard and Enterprise Edition are available to be purchased. The basic or the business intelligence only is only available in a subscription model. So keep that in mind. So with that, I want to dive into a live demonstration and jump over and show you a little bit of these features I've been talking about. Much like our core application, Tour de Force BI is still going to be launched within the core framework of Outlook. You don't have to run Tour de Force BI in Outlook. You can have an icon on your desktop. In this particular case, I am running through the Tour de Force Outlook environment. Now, if I were running in this particular system, I've got a couple of the features turned off. I do have the Enterprise and Standard Edition features that are on this system. If you're running in a BI only, every menu, every toolbar is going to hide those features that are not relevant to the edition that you're running on. Okay? So I can run within the Microsoft Outlook environment. Now, the primary location where people are going to operate within Tour de Force is probably going to be in the Management Console. But you do have the ability to navigate within Microsoft Outlook much like you would do within the standard CRM. As I mentioned earlier, the email logging features are going to be there. You'll still have all of your inbox navigation features as well. So if I receive an email from an individual, I will be able to take advantage of our inbox actions and the interface to Outlook. So if I receive an email from Don Courtney and I want to go look at any business intelligence or any information related to this account that Don's associated with, in the Tour de Force account record, just like you would have in the core enterprise, you have the full capability to profile each and every account. Profiling your accounts is very important because that allows you to summarize and analyze your sales data. Every single one of these fields that you see here is a field where you are assigning an attribute or you're tagging a value to this account, which is going to tie into the sales information when it comes from your ERP. Okay? So right now we are looking at one individual account. So when I click on the sales data screen, I can see all of the business intelligence or the customer-based BI related to this particular account. Within Tour de Force, as I've mentioned earlier, you have bookings, sales, profit, margin, units. In Tour de Force, everything that we look at from a business intelligence standpoint is looking at the current year minus the 2 prior fiscal years. So it's the current, last year, and 2 years prior. When I'm looking at an account, the first screen is a basic snapshot of information about this account. Down at the bottom, I have a whole series of charts and graphs that I can look at about this account. So these are going to be pie charts, bar charts, trend charts, specifically related to information on this account. If I'm looking in this case at a particular ship-to account, Tour de Force provides some very robust features to give you the ability to go from a ship-to and quickly roll up and look at an entire bill-to account. Tour de Force also has what's called a master account hierarchy, where some business systems support an overall corporate ID, which allows you to roll up multiple ship-tos, multiple bill-tos to a corporate ID. If that system supports it, right from this account, I have the ability to go from a ship-to a bill-to the corporate account and look at overall performance across all of them. And then I can navigate back down to where I came from, all the way back down to that ship-to. In looking at an individual account, I have my General Summary tab, which is going to give me a general snapshot of information about this account. In my Group Summaries, I have the ability to look at information across a subset of sales. And what I mean by subset of sales, within Tour de Force, every item that you sell to a customer, that item has an item code or an item description. It also is typically tagged to a specific product group or a major group or a vendor. And in every business system, those attributes about an item that you sell are different. So within Tour de Force, whether you're connected to one of any of the 40 different ERPs that we interface to, these major summary types are going to be based upon whatever business system you're operating on. So if I want to look at a summary by item, by vendor, I can tag an attribute from the order header, so I can look at summary by order type. In any of these major summary types, if I just right-click and go to Manage Grid, I have the ability to pull and pick and choose from all of these predefined, pre-calculated data points. So I can look at margins, run rates, percentages of goal, comparisons to last year. There is a whole wide range of data points. Each and every one of these data points can then be added into the particular view that you're looking at. You also have the ability, as you can see, the different filters. You can apply very complex filters on what exactly you want to look at. Once you've selected your fields, you've assigned your filters, you can then save your views and create what we call views in Tour de Force. So in the case of the product group summary, I have different views available to me. One of those would be my year-to-date losers. So if I wanted to quickly view all of the product groups where we have declining sales for the year, I can see that. My year-to-date winners. And as you can see, you can categorize your views, so it's very, very flexible in your ability to look at all of the different ways that you want to look at your sales and profit and margin. As I navigate to the right, I can go down into my item sales history. This actually allows me to see every single invoice line item for this particular customer. I can drill down into the open invoices with the ability to expand an invoice and look at the line item details for that invoice. I can drill down into bookings. I can look at open orders. If I want to drill into an order, I can see the line items associated with that order. I can also get to my open quotes for this customer as well, with the same drill down capabilities to look at the individual line items. So when you're looking at an individual account, you have a lot of flexibility in the way you can drill down and navigate within that business intelligence about the customer. You also have, when you're looking at a customer, you have what are called the BYOR reports. Okay? And I'm just going to go ahead. This is going to take a second to process, and I'll talk about what BYOR stands for. Build Your Own Reports is a way for you as a company to create what we call key performance dashboards, so KPI dashboards. Those KPI dashboards can be scheduled to run on a certain interval. So in a lot of cases, if you want to create an executive dashboard, or you want to create a territory analysis, or a lot of different types of reports, those can be run every day, and they can be scheduled to run at 6 o'clock every day or 7 o'clock every day. Those reports are what we call scheduled reports, so that when you go to access them, they are instantaneously loaded. What I just launched was a render on demand report, which means I can access that report and render it on demand. This is a very simple look at what we call a customer scorecard. You can create very, very custom scorecards that incorporate your logos, your color schemes, and then you can count and look at information in any way, shape, or form that you'd like. This is a very simple example where I may want to sit down with a customer and pull up this scorecard right on my tablet as I'm sitting talking to the customer. So I can talk to this customer about, we seem to have an increasing amount of orders coming in, where our current year to date, 2 years ago, we were running at 1.6 line items per order. We went to 2.3. We've made a lot of improvement, and we're helping you reduce costs by trying to consolidate line items on every invoice that we send. All of those key talking points or key indicators that drive your performance at a customer are things that you can incorporate into your KPI dashboards. You can compare month over month, quarter over quarter, year over year. So you've got all the different periods and date ranges that you can use and analyze. And this is just an example of looking at who are the top, or what are the top product being sold, who are the top vendors being purchased by this customer, what are all the open opportunities. And every one of these little hyperlinks, you can drill down into the source data that this is populated from. And you can also tie this into your sales activities. So if you want to get a count of sales calls that are being made, what types of sales calls, you can get very, very granular in nature. If the customer wants a copy of this, you can email this directly to them. You can copy it to your clipboard, or you can print it. So this is just one example, but there are a lot of different types of dashboards that you can create, specific to a customer or specific to a vendor. Now, some of these other tabs that you see here, like the incentives and phone logging, some of these would be deactivated if you were working in a pure BI only environment. Also at the bottom, when you look at an account, if you are only operating in a tour de force BI, all you would see would be my linked contacts and then all of the email history. You wouldn't see all of the other CRM functions available. In addition to being able to profile an account, you also have the ability to profile your contacts. So you can begin to profile the contact database, identify what mailing list that they should be a part of, tracking authority levels, etc. What this allows you to do, any one of these fields that you see here on an individual contact can be used as a filter when you generate a mailing list. So if you have a newsletter, you can tag all the people that should be receiving that newsletter and then just run a filter to only send the newsletter to those people that are supposed to be receiving it. So you have the full account management, full contact management, as well as the full the marketing functions as well. If I close this account, you also have the capability to access information in Tour de Force in the Manager's Console. So the Manager's Console is what is used to be able to look at information at a more global view. As an executive, when I open up my Management Console in a BI environment, I can access all the accounts, all the contacts, all the BI, or all the reports. I can look at my marketing activities, and I can look at emails. The tab that we're defaulted to right now is what's called the BSI Summary tab. This is where I can summarize and roll up all of that information I showed you at the individual account. I can now roll this up into the Manager's Console. I'm looking at this information across all branches, so it's basically a corporate overview. If I were an individual sales rep, if I just go ahead and clear this selection, if I were an individual sales rep, when I connected in Tour de Force, my default would probably limit me to only see information related to my territory. So as Bill Pargin, I would only see the information relative to the accounts that were assigned to me in my sales territory. You have what's called the top accounts, so you can look at your top accounts by sales, profit, margin, orders, bookings, growth. You have all of those same charts and graphs are available, but now instead of looking at a chart or graph relative to one account, I can look at, in this case, my entire territory. Every single one of these tabs that I already showed you works the same in the Manager's Console, except instead of looking at all open orders for one account, a sales rep can get their order backlog report in a matter of a couple clicks with full drill down line item detail right within the Manager's Console. Now, in addition to being able to look at an individual territory or a group of territories, the summaries allow you to create advanced level filters. So that if I wanted to come in and create a custom summary where I wanted to look at all of my accounts based off of a status, if I wanted to look at all of my strategic accounts and summarize how we're doing at our strategic accounts, I can filter on any of those user-defined fields to create a summary based off of all the accounts that are tagged as a strategic account. And obviously I can see that year to date I'm down 2.7% with my strategic accounts. Probably not a good thing. So at that point I can still drill down, go to my group summaries and drill down and look at performance across all the product groups within my strategic accounts. And I can look at very quickly, because of my what we call in-cell formatting, we have a rule set up that says show me any product groups in red where my sales variance year to date is declining. So I can very quickly see who are the declining product groups. And I can also access those same views. So if I wanted to look at my year-to-date losers, I'm now looking at all product groups where we have declining sales that are within my strategic accounts. And again, I have the ability, if I want to drill down within that particular product group and I want to see is there one particular vendor, one particular account, I can drill down and see all the accounts that make up these sales to see which one's declining the most. Okay? So the Manager's Console allows you to roll up information across any subset of the database of accounts that you'd like. Very powerful features within the Manager's Console. In addition to the Manager's Console, just quickly to click on these tabs, you can create different customer lists. So if I go to my Accounts tab, you can create all different kinds of views of how you want to look at your accounts. So if I want to look at all my Boston branch, I can create what we call daily call lists. This is just an example of a user-defined field where we've tagged all of our accounts to a specific order day. So if you're an account where you want to get all of your all the accounts that you make deliveries on Tuesday, you want to tag them with an order day of Friday. You can then come in and look at all the accounts, see when their last order was, and maybe have your inside sales team reach out to these accounts on a Friday to see what they need to, or to see if they have any orders for the following Tuesday. A lot of different flexibility within Tour de Force when you get into the profiling. All the same standard features that our core CRM offers, so that if you're looking at a list, you have the ability to easily export. You can view information, a lot of advanced level filtering. So if I want to drill down on a specific territory, I can. You can do multiple filters, okay? A lot of flexibility in our grids to create these different views that we're talking about. I have access to all of our contacts. So if you want to manage your contact lists and be able to generate email campaigns from here, you can do that. So maybe I wanted to do an executive newsletter and I wanted to send an email to all of the presidents in our company. I can come to our all active contacts, filter on the president, select all of these contacts, and right from here, I can drop all these contacts directly into my mailing application to generate an email campaign. Okay, so full capabilities on the marketing side as well. Also in the Manager's Console, you've got what's called the BYOR viewer. This allows you to look at your executive dashboards and look at all the different reports that you have. Within our system, you have a wide range of reports available. These are just some examples. So I can look at a prior year sales performance, a current year sales performance where I'm looking company-wide at sales, profit, margin by months with my trends. Again, each and every one of these dashboards is completely configurable based on your business needs. Okay? Pie charts, bar charts, you can create reports that have just summary data points. So this is an example of a dashboard where you can have pure data cells or charts and graphs. This is an executive dashboard where I'm looking at from a corporate level. I've got Tour de Force actually supports multi-company, so if you have multiple companies on your ERP, you can look at each individual company. You can look at who are your top, what's the value of inventory on hand by vendor, by product, by warehouse, combined with AR information, sales information, order information, open order backlog. So you can pick and choose anything within the system and build a dashboard that is specific to what your key performance indicators are. Okay? Now, what I've been showing you is how you would access Tour de Force and the BI features directly within the Microsoft Outlook or the desktop application. But you also have full capabilities to access Tour de Force in a mobile environment. So if you have people that are working on tablets, no problem at all. When they go to their tablet and they go to their mobile homepage, Tour de Force is going to give you the ability to set up what we call homepage alerts. Every one of these little orange bars is a homepage alert that can contain key business intelligence about each salesperson's territory and the accounts that are assigned to them. You have the full capability to get to all of those reports. So if I want to look at my executive dashboard right through my tablet, all the reports are available in the mobile environment. If I want to access one of my key accounts, so maybe I'm getting ready to walk into an account, if I click on my little star button, that'll take me to my key accounts. And if I want to look up information about an account, so I'm getting ready to walk into my diversified chemicals account, I can look at that account. If I'm on a phone, this is the interface that you would see. And I can see basic sales information about this account, booking, sales, profit, margin. But if I were working on a tablet, when you open that account up, it would automatically open in what we call a detail view, whereas you can see the detail view of this account is very similar to what you would see, to what you did see already in the online version. So the account has all the same tabs of information. I can still access all of my sales data, all the same sales information that was available to me in the core application online is also available in that mobile environment. And I have full access to run those dashboards. So if I work on an iPad, I can walk into a customer, bring up their account, bring up their scorecard. Now I've got a tablet sitting there where I can walk through or talk through key talking points that are key performance indicators that drive that relationship. So all the functions we talked about online, you're also going to see in the mobile environment. If we go back to the demo system, I want to go into my favorites, and I want to open up a vendor account. So now I'm going to reverse the table. Maybe I'm somebody who works in purchasing. Within Tour de Force, we synchronize vendors over from the ERP as well. So you can profile your vendors. And when I'm looking at a vendor, I can have vendor reports available as well. And I've got my vendor BI summary. When I look at a vendor BI summary, it's looking at all of the bookings, sales, profit, and margin specifically related to any products related to this vendor. It's also looking at purchase history. All of these, I can look at purchasing trends. So all of the charts are now reflecting purchasing related or vendor related charts and graphs. If I go to my general summary, I get a general snapshot view of my inventory, my purchase history. And I can also summarize my inventory. So right now I'm looking at a summary of all inventory by item code. But I can also look at it based on any other attribute related to the inventory. So if I want to summarize by product group, okay, I can summarize it by warehouse, by item code, by vendor, any of those fields that are available, okay? As I navigate to the right, I can also drill down. So if I want to look at sales performance by any of those others, so if I just want to look at by sales territory, I can look at sales performance for this vendor's product by each sales rep. I can look at purchase orders. I can look up the PO and get PO details. I can drill down into that purchase order and look at what line items are on that purchase order. I can look up vendor invoices and get to invoice details. And I can also look at all of the products that are in the inventory table because Tour de Force is synchronizing inventory. I can look at all of the existing products that we have in inventory related to this vendor. So you have a very complete snapshot view of each vendor. All of this information is also available in the Build Your Own reports. Okay. What I'd like to do now, it's 45 minutes. It's I told you we wanted to keep this to about a 45-minute presentation. Hopefully this provides you a good overview, and I think that you can see for $25 per user per month, there's a lot of functionality available. The nice thing about this implementation is it's a very quick implementation to get you up and running from start to finish. If you want to get initiated, it's probably a matter of a few weeks to get you scheduled on the schedule and get the installation and the configuration done. All right, I'd like to open it up to questions, and it looks like we've got a couple of questions. One of the questions was, do contacts continue to sync between TDF and the ERP? In this particular case, you're asking about Profit 21. Absolutely it does. Tour de Force has a two-way contact sync that is available for Profit 21, so you can add contacts in Tour de Force or you can add contacts in Profit 21. You can make edits in either location, and then you can synchronize those down. So it is a real-time, ongoing synchronization. Next question, can you drill down into the management scorecard? Absolutely yes. I started to show you that. I can actually show that to you. All those fields that I showed you that were hyperlinked give you the drill down capabilities. So if I go back to my manager's console, just and go to my executive dashboard, any of the reports that have data that is hyperlinked would give you the ability to drill down. So let me just zoom into this. Okay, this particular dashboard doesn't have the drill down. Let me just look at I had one that did. Well, there you go. So this dashboard does, if I'm looking at information, I can quickly drill down to that 2.6 million, and I can see every line item sold to that customer that makes up those sales. So if I were looking at an activity summary, I could drill down and see activities. If I'm looking at opportunities, I can drill down to see the source opportunities. Okay? Next question. It looks like that was the only other question. Okay, well, if there are no more questions, I'd like to, again, thank everybody for attending today's session. Hopefully you found it very informative. You will be getting a follow-up call from our sales team, so whoever your regional sales manager is that's responsible for your account will be contacting you as a follow-up. to find out if there's any more interest, any more questions, or if we need to get back online with you and address any of your specific questions. So again, I appreciate the time today. I hope you found it interesting, and we will hopefully talk again soon. Thanks again, and have a great day.